Imagine you sail away from everyone you love. You promise them you'll be back before winter. You are gone for 3 years. And when you finally step back onto that shore, they are all gone. Not some of them, all of them. More than 100 men, women, and children. Your own daughter, your own granddaughter. The first English child ever born in this new world. Gone. No bodies, no graves, no blood in the sand. No sign of a fight. No sign of a fire. The houses themselves have been taken down board by board and carried off. The people did not just leave. They erased the fact that they were ever there, and carved into a wooden post at the edge of the empty fort is a single word. One word, and no explanation. 400 years later, we still cannot tell you what it means. I dig into a new unexplained case every week. If the things we can't explain keep you up at night, subscribe and tap the bell, so the next one finds you in the dark. The year is 1587. England is desperate for a foothold in the New World. Sir Walter Raleigh has the charter. He needs the people. So a fleet sets out from Plymouth carrying roughly 115 colonists. Ordinary Londoners, farmers, tradesmen, whole families. Their governor is a man named John White. He is not a soldier. He is an artist, a painter of maps and coastlines. And this is not a crew of hardened explorers. There are women aboard. There are children. White's own daughter, Eleanor, is with them, and she is heavily pregnant. Their destination was supposed to be the Chesapeake, further north, but the pilot refuses to take them any further. He drops them at Roanoke Island instead, a thin strip of land on the outer banks of what is now North Carolina. And just like that, they are home, whether they like it or not. The island is not empty. An earlier group of English soldiers had already been here. They had left behind bad blood with the local tribes. The new colonists arrived to find one of those soldiers already dead, killed. Then one of their own is murdered while out gathering crabs, alone. This is not the paradise they were promised. But there's one bright moment in all of it. On August 18th, 1587, Eleanor gives birth. A baby girl. They name her Virginia Dare, the first English child born on American soil. A tiny life born into a place that is already turning against them. And her grandfather, the governor, holds her. The colony is running low on supplies almost immediately. Someone has to go back to England and bring more. The colonists beg John White to be the one. He doesn't want to leave. He argues. He resists. But they trust him, and only him, to return. So, 9 days after his granddaughter is born, White boards a ship and sails east toward home. Before he leaves, they make a plan. A code. If they ever move from this island while he is gone, they will carve the name of their destination into a tree or a post. And if they are ever forced to leave, if they leave in danger, they will carve a cross above the name. A distress signal. No cross means they left safely. No cross means everything is fine. Remember that. John White expects to be back in a few months. He is not. Because the moment he lands in England, the country goes to war. The Spanish Armada is coming. Every seaworthy ship in the nation is seized for the fight. White is trapped. No vessel, no crew, no way across the ocean. He tries, he begs. He charters 2 small ships and they are turned back by pirates. Months become a year becomes 2, 2 becomes 3. And the entire time he knows exactly who is waiting for him on that island. His daughter, his baby granddaughter, 100 people who trusted him, slowly running out of everything on a coastline they barely understand. Finally, in August of 1590, John White reaches Roanoke again. It is August 18th, Virginia Dare's 3rd birthday. He rows toward the shore in the dark. And he does something strange. He has his men play a familiar English tune on a trumpet. A signal, a greeting. Here I am, I came back. Nothing answers from the trees. No fires, no voices, no one running to the water. In the morning, he walks up into the settlement. The palisade wall is still standing. But inside, the houses are gone, dismantled, carried away. Chests of his own belongings have been dug up and looted, rotting in the open. There are no people. There are no bodies. There is no blood, no wreckage, no shallow graves. Over 100 human beings have simply been subtracted from the earth. And then he sees it, carved into one of the wooden posts of the fort, in fair capital letters, CROATOAN. And on a nearby tree, 3 more letters cut into the bark. CRO. White's heart must have leapt, because CROATOAN was a real place, an island to the south near Cape Hatteras, home to a friendly tribe and to a man named Manteo, who the colonists trusted. This was the code. This was the plan. They had told him where they were going. And here is the detail that has haunted historians ever since. There was no cross, no distress signal carved above the name. By their own agreement, that meant they had not left in fear. They had not been dragged away. Whatever happened to the lost colony, they seemed to have chosen it. White wanted to sail straight to CROATOAN Island. It was close. His family might be a single day's journey away, but the sea had other plans. A powerful storm rolled in off the Atlantic. The ships lost anchors. Cables snapped. They were driven back out into deep water, away from the coast. The captain refused to risk the ships any longer. And John White, the grandfather, the governor, was carried away from that shoreline against his will. He never set foot in the New World again. He never found a single one of them. He died in England a few years later, not knowing. Now let's be honest with each other. There are real, sober explanations for Roanoke. The most likely is the simplest. They did exactly what the word says. They walked south and blended in with the CROATOAN people to survive. And there is evidence for it. On Hatteras Island, the old CROATOAN land, archaeologists have found English objects. A signet ring, gun parts, slate, iron-working debris from a blacksmith's fire. At another dig inland called Site X, more English pottery from exactly this period. Later, English settlers even reported native people with gray eyes who claimed to read from books. Others say the colony split up. That disease took them. That a hostile tribe or the Spanish wiped them out. Most of Roanoke has a quiet human answer. Assimilation, not abduction. But most is not all. Because no theory explains everything. Not one artifact can be tied by name to a single one of those 115 colonists. No English graves have ever been found. Not one. If they went to CROATOAN and lived, why did no one, in all the years after, simply walk back to the coast and say so? Why take the houses apart? Why carry the very timbers away? And what of the Dare stones? Rocks that surfaced centuries later, carved with a message signed by Eleanor Dare herself. Most are dismissed as a hoax, but one of them still makes serious researchers uneasy. The truth is we have clues and pieces and educated guesses. What we do not have, after more than 400 years, is a single confirmed body. The fort is gone now. The island is quiet, folded into a peaceful stretch of the Outer Banks. Tourists walk where the palisade once stood. And somewhere out there, under the sand and the pines and 4 centuries of silence, lies the answer to the oldest missing persons case in America. More than 100 people who sailed toward a new life and stepped straight out of history, leaving behind their houses, their promise, their baby girl's name, and one carved word that we are still trying to read. So the next time you hear that the past is settled, that we know how the story goes, remember Roanoke. Remember that 100 souls can vanish in plain sight on a small island and never be found. And that sometimes the only thing the missing leave behind is a single word and a silence you can't fill. I release a new one of these every week. If this got under your skin, hit subscribe, ring the bell, and stay close. There are so many more of these. And it gets dark early now. This is Storytime with Finley. Sleep well, and stay on the path.